Hello and welcome to the HR European Market Neutral monthly update for October 2023. I'm Paul Marriage from Tellworth Investments. This was another good month for the strategy and actually linking up 2 or 3 good months since the late summer now. Market conditions were pretty poor. As you know, we've had a lot of geopolitical uncertainty and also some of the macro numbers coming out have been pretty unsupportive, at least for the majority of the month. So it's been a good time for things like our UK cyclical shorts, house builders, Travis Perkins in building, Kingspan, which is European building products. That whole complex has been bad. It's been a tough market. We saw merchants report a really weak September in October. So generally that played out pretty well for us. Our best kind of alpha standout short was probably Rentokil. So Rentokil, which is a pest control business largely, made a large US acquisition called Terminix earlier in the year, paid a good price for it. And actually in this latest update, the company reported that Terminix in the US had slowed down a bit. Perhaps no major surprise, but it was a richly rated stock and it was a high-profile deal. So we saw that derate, and that was a really useful short contributor. On the long side, clearly we had the other side of some of those trades long. So some of our cyclicals were weak, and etc. I guess our biggest individual long fail was NatWest Group, the UK bank. NatWest missed on its net interest margins, and its outlook for net interest margins was weaker than people thought. And actually, NatWest's expectations management has been poor recently, so the stock took a real hit, and that was quite painful for us actually in the fund. But not enough to take away from what was another good month overall. I think interestingly, as we exited the month, we felt a slight sense of change going into November, particularly in the UK. A sense that perhaps peak rates had plateaued, and that we could be looking at rate reductions, into the back end of 24, and perhaps inflation as well was softening, and one or two of these sort of big macro sort of drivers have really driven the market down recently, particularly mid 250, which had a really tough month in October, and we see some risk of reversal there. So we've actually covered a lot of shorts into the back end of the month to try and mitigate that, to make sure we're not caught on the wrong side of a market change if that's coming. So overall, another good month. We'll keep working hard at this, and it's always going to be a challenge to keep delivering positive returns for you in changing market conditions. Thanks again for your support this month, and we look forward to updating you at the end of November.